Hello, lovely humans. So the new fad is that every time I set up and right before I hit record, she comes up and jumps up on my chair like she wants to be a part, dude. I think she wants to be a star, like straight up, because this has been happening for a long time now. And I think it's hilarious. And it's funny because she like lets me set up everything. It takes a while, you know, to get everything right and the lights and blah, blah, blah. So she lets me do that. And just when she thinks everything is perfect, she's like, yeah, this is my time to shine. And she's adorable. It's been so cold. She's been extra cuddly, which is awesome. I appreciate it. I'm sorry. She's so cute. I love her. I really do, dude. She's been driving me crazy, by the way, not letting me sleep and everything. But I think it's cute that she wants to participate every time I record something. Anyway, lovely humans, Series 2, Episode 49 of XFM. Okay, we're getting to the end of Season 2, apparently. Rusty has made, oh my God, so many of these already. 49 in this season, and I don't remember how many were in Season 1. But oh my God, dude, you're a freaking champ. That is amazing. So thank you for that. Ridiculously awesome. And you do a ridiculously awesome job. So, August 2nd. Okay. I was thinking if there's anything important. 20 days after that, it's my brother's birthday. That's all I have for August, I guess. But, okay, Carlness, I'm excited. I started Sick of It, which is awesome. I'm really excited about that. I only saw one episode so far, but I'm excited about it. I was surprised at how good Karl is. Like, actually acting, and I get that he's basically playing himself, but still. Have you guys seen any reality TV? Some people don't know how to act like themselves once a camera shows up. They just turn full stupid, so he's good at it, and I was impressed. I guess he's, already accustomed to cameras, but still, I liked it. Some people said the show is quite gloomy and whatever. It's called Sick of It. Like, all his shows are called. There's Moaning of Life and Sick of It, and Idiot Abroad isn't that sad, but you know what I mean? It's like all... It's the same. It's his kind of tone. Anyway, I am talkative. I am excited. I am dolled up because I have a date later. I'm just, okay? So, yeah, that's where my energy is at today. It's gonna be a lot. So, just, beware, I guess. Let's go.
Kings of Leon, Molly's Chambers.
I'm sorry. I love that. The random changing of the color of their clothes. And it makes it fun because it looks like a new picture. I love that. I freaking love watermelons and also drink. Dude, I am just, Father Ted is fun. I can't remember if I watched one this week yet or not. I don't know. My times and days are all messed up. But Father Jack is quite the character. Anyway, blue looks good on Karl.
XFM 104.9. Thanks to Lauren Laverne there for the last few hours.
Thanks for what?
Molly's Chambers on XFM 104.9. Thanks to Lauren Laverne there for the last few hours. Coming up, we have got some great music, Steve. We've got Kings of Leon, as you heard. We've got Alba, we've got The Darks, we've got Coldplay, Coral, Rolling Stones, we've got some Springsteen, The Smiths. Do you not mean you need any more? And with all that, we've still got Pete Skinner with his wacky weather report.
Excellent, good old Pete.
Hey?
Nice to have him back.
Good news, Steve. Got something here brought in. It's just a normal soup. It's Rooster's Pride. What flavour soup's that, Steve?
Oh, I know you brought that. And it's all a genuine article, and it's cock soup. Oh, thanks. Can I have a close look at that? Maybe there's some more humour I can drag.
What, you want a closer look at my cock soup?
What was that? What was that?
Close look at that. Maybe there's...
Are we doing subliminal messages now? What's the ESP? Cock ESP. I'm afraid to ask.
Some more humour I can drag.
What, you want a closer look at my cock soup?
Just a cock soup. Let me just... It says here, delicious, appetising. 3 to 4 servings.
Because you know what I'm thinking of when you're talking about the soup?
I'm thinking of innuendo.
I'm just thinking of a man's cock.
Penises,
what?
yeah.
Wait, what? With natural and artificial flavour? What's the point of one if you already have the other? And also, what's the point of announcing that? Like that's under the biggest part of like the packaging, dude. With okay. Whatever. Anyway, it's Jamaican.
I'm just thinking of a man's cock.
Penises, yeah. Let me just...
It's the darkness.
Use Rooster's Pride cock soup as a snack with crackers or toast.
Still thinking of a normal knob.
An appetizer, again, or a soup base. That doesn't really work. That's disappointing. We'll work on that, then.
The darkness growing on me on XFM 104.9. Going well, isn't it?
I've enjoyed it so far.
Dude,
Ricky's
on me
on XFM 104.9
today.
Going well, isn't it?
I've enjoyed it so far.
It's been a bit naughty and everything.
Yeah, a bit
like,
smart.
Nothing
wrong with that.
No. Carl,
Alright.
having a good day?
Not bad, not bad.
Yeah?
What mood are you in this week?
What
'Cause we
mood
always
is that?
trying to assess each week, you know, it's a bit edgy.
He's got a red head. What's all that? You've got a red head all around the side and the front.
Maybe
What's
you
that?
squeezed
Sunburn?
it too hard.
No, I think I'm allergic to
Ricky?
having my head rubbed.
Right. Right, now who would rub your head? That sounds a bizarre thing. Your girlfriend?
Told you.
Weird, isn't it?
Yeah. Who's been rubbing your head?
Well, yeah, but I was squeezing his head, fair enough, and he was screaming in agony. And then he went and made me a cup of coffee. And as he came over, just spilt boiling hot coffee on my legs. I'm all wearing shorts, and he went, "Sorry," just like that. It's like a series of Jackass out there this morning. I mean, my legs are burnt. Your head's a little bit red. But
Tit for
apart from
tat?
that, having a good day.
Not bad. I was on the way in today, right, Steve?
Walking in?
Walking in, always walking in. I get left early and stuff. I like to get in early,
Weird,
get
does he
started.
sound a little weird, like a little robotic auto-tune or something?
Walking in?
Walking in, always walking in. I get left early and stuff. I like to get in early, get some bits done,
Monkey News, songs of phrase.
that sort of thing. And living in London, right, there's a lot of shops that open early and stuff. Do you know what I mean? People say that's a good thing about London.
Yeah.
It's almost like 24-hour city and stuff, right?
Okay.
I'm walking in and there's like, you know, you've got your news agents open,
Obviously.
you know, selling newspapers and that. That's good. They've got to be open early. Then you've got your coffee shops, your Starbucks,
You'll
your...
have a cup of coffee in the
Do you know what I
morning.
mean?
Yeah.
Breakfast,
They're doing well in the morning. Then you see, like, the odd restaurant, and you think, well, maybe they sort of got the doors open, but they're preparing for lunch, so you think, fair enough.
Yeah. I'll
Right.
let that pass.
Yeah. Carrying on walking down the road. Bondage shop. Open.
Sure.
About 10:30.
Yeah.
Busy, was it?
There's a couple in.
Really?
You know what, though? Because I'm thinking, okay, pictures, but if you wouldn't have put the pictures up, I wouldn't have known what we were talking about. So I appreciate that. Also, because there's a song, and I hear it all the time. I should maybe Google this, but I don't know if it's dirty or not. What's a body shop? Because to me, a body shop is like where you go to, you know, tune out your car, like Los Santos body shop. No, what's a, they obviously don't sell bodies, or unless it's like a butcher shop. Like what? I'm gonna have to Google that later, but I'm scared. Is this also a body? Like I don't know. Anyway, thank you for the pictures. Now at least I'm in context, which is nice.
Yeah.
Busy, was it?
There's a couple in.
Really?
Oh, he looked a lot.
10:30 for a bondage shop.
I'm assuming if you're into bondage, though, you stock up at any time, day or night. I mean, you don't...
Yeah.
Well, I assume it...
I suppose you get up and you go,
Another question: aren't those kinds of shops, like, aren't the windows covered normally? Like, you have the sign so you know what it is, but you can't really see inside? Because I think it's interesting that he said that we're a couple people in, because if there's any kind of shop here, they're just, you know, sex shops. But they're everywhere. But they always have, like, what's it called? Like when the glass looks foggy from steam and you can't see through it. There's a word for it. I can't think of. But they always have, or they're covered, or they have, you know, you can't see inside. I guess to protect children or pervs. I don't know who we're protecting, but we're protecting somebody, right? And like, you couldn't see if there were people inside or not. So maybe Carl went in. Like, I don't know, man.
"Oh, I've got nothing on. I need to be a bit tied down.
Yeah.
I need some rope.
These clothes are too baggy. I need more belts.
Oh,
I need
God.
more straps.
Yeah. Oh. Get some rubber on my face.
Weird, though, isn't it?
What are you doing in there?
So just having a browse. But,
Why not?
so a bit worried, really, because the things that I've noticed this week, like that's probably a little bit smutty. You've brought your soup in.
I just found it out there. Sorry, yeah. It's
not even yours.
Rooster's Pride, cock soup, noodle soup mix, chicken flavour. But, I mean, do they not know that is obviously just going to be used on the Graham Norton show and Chris Tarrant when he's doing his show abroad.
Yeah.
I
Free
mean,
publicity.
do you know what I mean? Well, how could they call it
wrong
cock
with that?
soup in this day and
Don't
age?
keep
You're
saying
talking
it.
about
Well,
it
no,
on
it's
the
fine
radio.
because you say cock as long as it means the male. We've done this.
Oh, do you mean a chicken?
Yeah, look, it's a picture of a chicken.
Yeah. Sorry.
What did you think it meant?
No, I don't know. I don't know. It's in my head.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But, yeah, there's something else that's a bit sort of...
A bit blue.
A little bit blue, but then it's real as well, do you know what I mean?
Well,
it's
that
a problem.
excuses it.
Go on.
There's a programme
We
in the
couldn't
week.
have said the cock soup if we'd made it up, but because it's real. It's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. We also couldn't have said the cock soup if we'd have meant a male penis.
Thankfully, we don't. So.
We mean a
Cannibals.
little chicken. You go on.
Yeah, this programme was on. It was Wednesday night, something. About this little lad.
What do we mean by little?
It was a fella and a woman.
At the same time. What
What
was
do
it,
you
like
mean?
like a cartoon with a secret identity?
By
Yeah.
night. What do you mean? He had both
By day a
sexes?
boy, by night a
Yeah,
woman.
he had it all.
What,
Yeah,
what you go? Sorry, wait. So he had male and female genitalia. So what do you call someone that's born like that?
Weird.
Weird. Yeah.
Like, what's the term for it?
Hermaphrodite?
Go on. You
Go
know
on.
it. We've talked about it before.
Aphrodite.
Really? So close.
That was
Hermaphrodite. Yeah, hermaphrodite. Yeah.
That's
oh, he
weird,
was
though,
so
isn't it?
close.
Yeah.
And he had the ball,
Yeah.
and he had the...
Well, what happened was he was born, right?
Was he showing it?
And the doctor said, there you go. Lovely little boy and girl. So the mum was like, what? So he said...
No, I don't think the doctor was sarcastic.
Yeah, what?
I don't think the doctor was sort of dissing them.
Yeah.
There you go. What do you mean, doctor? We'll have a look. There's the cock, there's the minge. All right, see you later. What are you to call hit? But doctor, what do you mean? Have a look. He wasn't sarcastic. He didn't give
Doctor,
clues.
tell me what you mean. Give me a straight answer.
He probably went, oh shit, she's got a cock. He didn't go. He wasn't sarky to the parents.
No, but I'm just getting across, do you know what I mean? I always had a little bit just to...
Yeah, I know you
spice
do.
it
Yeah,
up,
you should
spice
be
it
a
up.
newsreader. Be brilliant.
So there's a little kid lying there.
Yeah.
And the mum says, you know, what am I going to do then? So the doctor, I mean, I'm condensing this. It was like an hour long.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're also making
So
it up.
he says, she said, what will I do? And the doctor said, well, he's not sort of well hung.
Right.
Oh,
So he's
not sort of well on. This doctor has
Crazy
been, I
doctor.
assume has been struck off since for saying these things.
It was a real doctor. It wasn't Dr. Fox.
Yeah. Right, go on.
So the doctor said, so I recommend that we make it a woman,
Right.
right? So they sort of do a little bit of,
Jiggery pokery.
a little bit of work. And
I don't think that's true, Carl.
No, it is. It was on the programme.
But I think they can tell really what they were meant to be from their chromosomes, can't they? They can tell whether they're X, Y, Y, or
Yeah,
X.
not just... It's not
It's
very
just-
well hung.
No, I
Yeah.
tell you what, because back then, when this was going
Yeah,
on,
no,
right,
I'm just thinking they might not have had
the doctors then thought if you had a kid, right, and you thought, it's a bit ugly, maybe it'll have a better life if it was a fella. If it was a girl and it's a bit ugly and you think it's going to get hard time.
Right, don't talk shite.
Twice.
What?
What? That a doctor would go. Right, you've had.
What
a,
is that
you would go. Right, you've had a young girl. I tell you what, she's a pig. Let's pop a cock on her. Don't
No,
talk
I'm not saying,
shite.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, say if you have like I say, a girl. I just think it's harder if a girl's ugly and
Yeah.
she's growing up.
Yeah.
There's a harder time.
Yeah.
Don't you agree with that? If
Possibly, but you don't
they
change
don't
someone
change-
when
No, yeah.
You don't change their gender
No,
because
but
they're
I'm
a
just
bit of a
saying
minger.
what I'm saying is the Elephant Man would have had a harder time if it was Elephant Woman. Is what I'm saying. But listen to me, listen. What the doctor was saying is, if you get a baby
Are you
before
hearing
it's 2,
Yeah.
back then they thought you could sort of say, well, instead of giving it a go-kart, give it dolls to play with.
Right, back when? What are we talking about?
Ages ago.
The Middle Ages?
We put a song on, come back.
Yeah, it's Bruce Springsteen, Atlantic City.
Give him time to sort out his thoughts.
Bruce Springsteen, Atlantic City, on XFM 104.9. Okay, look, have another go, Carl. What were you saying? As an hermaphrodite, yeah, he was born with both sets. The doctor said he's not well hung. Let's lose that.
Let's get rid of that.
Let's make
Make it
it
a
into a
woman.
girl. Okay. I'm with you so far. Go on then.
So, anyway,
Anyway.
gets away with it a little bit in the early years.
A little bit.
Starts going to school, gets away with it a little bit.
Sure.
Right? But then, do you know when you get to that age and your head goes all funny? Like when you're a
Yours gets
teenager and
round.
you sort of, I don't know, your skull goes...
Mine never did.
What are you talking about?
No.
Yes,
That
what do you
sort of
mean your head goes all
teenage
funny?
years when you look a bit odd. Do you know what I mean? You go from
Puberty?
being quite a good-looking person and then your body starts growing.
At a different rate, so
Yeah,
you never know. You never know till 21 whether you're going to be a looker or not, or whether it's just.
Yeah.
I know.
Right.
Go on.
Yeah, I'm still waiting.
So,
Your head grew outwards at exactly the same rate, didn't it? That's why it's
Your
spherical.
head grew faster than your hair.
He's got a lovely head of hair, but just below the skull.
Yeah.
He's got a little afro in there, but it just couldn't get through the follicles. It couldn't catch up the skull. Expanding. Oh, bless him. Oh, come on, Baldy.
but the thing is, right, so you see these pictures of the lad stroke woman
Yeah.
who's trying to be a woman at the age of 14, 15.
Yeah.
She's got one of them big heads,
Right.
like
okay.
a lad. Doesn't, she starts having a hard time. She doesn't want to play with the mates, with the dolls and all that. She's more into go-karting and that sort of thing.
I was into go-karting.
Gets to an older age,
Yeah.
decides to go back, is now sort of with a woman and having a life of a fella.
But did he did the doctor keep it for him in case he needed it?
No, he's had one put on though.
Has he? Where'd he get that from?
Don't know, maybe that bondage shop.
What do they do when they do that? Do they put on a... What do they do? Maybe someone could call in and tell us. If you're a woman, and you have a...
Do you want to speak to someone who's got that information?
Yeah, I do want to know. What do
If
they
you've
use
got
it-
that information, I don't want to talk to
Do
them.
they construct one? Do they construct it?
From
What do
plasticine.
you mean?
Or
If
do
they
they
got that
construct- I
information,
wanna
you
know,
don't
what
want to
do
talk
they
If
to
you've got that
them.
information, I don't want to talk to
Do
them.
they construct one?
What's wrong
Do they
with that?
construct it?
From plasticine.
Or do they whack on a dead one?
What?
No!
Whack on a dead one?
Yeah.
What? What? That's not, it's not, what do you mean? No.
When a woman has a knob put on
Yeah.
to have a sex change, where do they get it from? Is it constructed? Do they find, like, I don't
From
know...
a donor.
A donut?
From a donor.
Oh, well, yeah. A donor?
A
What?
donor, yeah.
Yeah, but presumably it's like...
Maybe there's someone who
well,
wants
after
to
they're
become-
dead, I mean.
No, I thought maybe
Very
there's-
few people... It's not like giving someone a kidney and then sort of like celebrating
maybe
with
if you're a
them.
guy and you want to become a woman, you've
That's
got one to
true.
spare.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, that's...
I had a thought, but touchy topic. But it's more along the lines of this absolute stupidity that they're talking, because it's them that put this thought in my head, right? But since they said donor, I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. I'm pretty sure it's transformative surgery, by the way. I'm not super in subject, but from what I've heard or maybe read, I don't remember, but it's transformation, not donation. Anyway, what they're talking about, I feel like the best way to do it would be have a guy that wants to become a woman and a woman that wants to become a guy at the same time, and then you just swap the stuff and like win-win. And there you go. Why not?
Swap.
Yeah, just do a little swap, probably on the internet or something.
Oh, no,
There you go.
Edmonds.
What do you mean?
On Swap Shop.
He's not a man.
No, but he could go, we got a fella here who, got a lovely, nearly new, unused penis.
Okay, there we go.
Wants,
Yeah, Keith Chegwin out in
What's-
kind of Bognor region.
wants a couple of tits and a fanny for that, so, call in.
It reminds me of the, do you
That's
remember
exactly,
the John
yeah.
Wayne Bobbitt story? Which
Yeah.
it's always seemed odd to me. I never really kind of got all the information. Do you remember that one, Carl, where the woman cut off her husband's penis because
When he
was
was
adulterous or
sleeping.
something? I think she mean, and she drove off.
I know that
I
story.
think
I read that story. That story is wild, dude. Wild. If I don't know if I'm gonna talk about it or not. But didn't she chop it off and then like chuck it somewhere, and then he went and found it, and I don't remember if he got it put back on, and then he became a porn star. Is that story? Because what? That's mega wild, dude. And look at her face. Her face says, "I'd do it again."
In the woods.
quite
She
quickly.
she...
Husband's penis because
When he
was
was
adulterous or
sleeping.
something. I think she mean, and she drove off. I think he
threw it
woke
in the
up
woods.
quite
She
quickly.
yeah, that's so much better than the
Exactly,
alarm
than
clock,
the
isn't
alarm
it?
call,
Yeah.
And she threw it off. She threw it out of the car
window.
into the woods.
Yeah.
And he
Good.
went and found it.
Yeah.
There we go.
But imagine if he'd got to the hospital and they'd sewn it back on, and he'd gone, "That's bigger than I remember." I'm not sure this is mine.
How many of you cut us where we done Paul the
We
knobs?
done Paul the
That's
knobs
where-
right there.
Yeah. That
that's
That
where
was
the
an
story ends.
extraordinary story. And then, bizarrely, he became a porn star.
yeah. Yeah.
Very strange life that man's had.
Well, it is a bit of a shock to the system, isn't it?
Mm.
Oh, cutting your knob off.
I know. I know.
Do you remember that French bloke, the performance artist, about 1910? Do you remember him?
No.
He, as a performance art, in a theatre, he cut his knob off to a crowd of people. Now,
What?
That's only a one-night trick, though, isn't it?
Exactly. But what if there had been a bang outside?
He went encore. He went, what?
Yeah, or they looked outside because a car backfired. He went, did you see that? I go, what? I go, oh, just cut the... Did you? Yeah. Think of that.
Sacre bleu.
I know. French are funny, aren't they?
And then there's like the Family Guy scene where Vincent Van Gogh gives his girlfriend his ear in a box, and she freaks out. He's like, "Oh, you're really not gonna like your second present." Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot. This whole episode has been a lot.
Cutting your knob off for your art.
Weird, isn't it?
Oh, wow.
Longview. Further on XFM 104.9.
As we're having so much
tracks.
fun with penises,
Yeah.
I thought perhaps I should just mention...
That's a slogan.
We should
Next
just
song
mention
of
this
praise.
story, briefly. It's in the paper today. A Russian is selling what he claims is Hitler's mummified penis for £12,000.
Yeah.
Ivan Zaduprov says his ex-Red Army soldier dad hacked it off as a souvenir after storming the tyrant's Berlin bunker after his suicide in 1945.
Okay.
Yeah. Not.
convinced?
Why did he wait?
If it were real, isn't 12,000 lowballing it? Sorry.
Till now.
Yeah.
He's found out that. That might get a bit of £12,000.
£12,000. Which doesn't seem a great deal. Doesn't seem a great deal of money, really.
Well, it's useless, isn't it?
True.
You're not going to be able to use it. It's not going to be able to. It's not going to be a donor. Imagine that if you walked round.
Yeah. You'll never... Making love to a girl, you'll never believe who this is.
Yeah. You never believe who's doing you, love.
Exactly. This is going to freak you out.
This is, just relax.
Exactly.
Okay, sit down now. Was
I
that
got a
all
little
right?
surprise for
It was
you.
brilliant, yeah? So you enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Are
Did you
you a
notice-
fan of the Third Reich?
Exactly.
Well, no, awful racist. Okay, let's go a different tack.
Yeah.
You did like the sex. I love the sex. Okay, then. Yeah, it's not going to be Hitler's knob, is it?
But I like the idea that, I mean, you're you're in the Red Army.
Yeah.
You've just stormed Berlin.
Yeah.
1945. You crash into the bunker.
You've gone through
Hell.
terrible.
Terrible.
How you've lost 20 million comrades.
Unbelievable.
Oppression
Been
everywhere.
going on for years.
You're in there. You see the man.
Here he is. He's dead.
He's dead.
The figurehead and leader of one of the most despicable.
You turn to your friends. There's a tear in your eye.
Yeah. And your immediate thought is, I ought to chop off his todger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I said Bagsy. I said
Bagsy is
the
Winkle.
I said Bagsy is Winkle outside. Whoever it was. Yeah, I didn't know it was going to be Hitler. Brilliant.
It's just, I can't, it just doesn't make sense. It's ludicrous. It's ludicrous. And I don't know how is he expecting to prove this? Because I want some proof.
Well, I think that's why he said that. He probably started off with, I've got Hitler's face. And they went, brilliant. Oh, let's have a look at it. What do you mean, let's have a look? Well, just check Hitler's face. Obviously, I know what he looks like. Oh, yeah. No, it's not. Yeah, you know what no, it's not his face. What wouldn't you know what it looked like? Well, I mean, no one's ever seen his genitals. That's what I've got.
Yeah.
I've got his.
It's got a little swastika on it.
Is that proof, is it?
Yeah, little
Have you got
tattoo.
his ball? Well, no, the Albert Hall's got one, his mother's got the other, so I don't know.
See, the Albert Hall, I would have thought, would probably
what?
be paying that job.
Why do we have text? Referring to the British version of the song, Hitler has... Do I have to read this out loud? Okay. Hitler has only got one ball. The other is in the Albert Hall. His mother, the dirty bugger, chopped it off when Hitler was small. What kind of song is this? What? She threw it into the apple tree. The wind blew it into the deep blue sea, where the fishes got out their dishes and ate scallops and bogs for tea. Sung to the tune of the River Kwai March. I don't know the River Kwai March. Maybe if I hear it, I do, but... Why is this a song? What? Okay.
Yeah,
Have you got his ball? Well, no, the Albert Hall's got one, his mother's got the other, so I don't know.
See, the Albert Hall, I would have thought, would probably be paying that £12,000 because apparently they've already got his ball.
Yeah, they got one of his balls.
They got one of his balls in the Albert Hall. His mother's
I
got
would
the
have been
other.
so lost
Yeah,
without this.
But if they got the Todger
If they
as well,
can track down the one his mother's got, they would have a complete set of Hitler's...
I'm just hoping it doesn't fall into the hands of some kind of crazed genetic scientist.
What, I could clone it from his knob?
Could clone Hitler.
Back
Wait,
to
I didn't
what?
read
I
it.
could clone it from his knob.
Okay.
Clone
I'm not reading that out loud because I can't pronounce half of that. So
Hitler.
Back to I don't even want to think about the future if that's the sort of way we're going.
Exactly.
If that's the sort of way we're going, Carl, I'd rather not know about it.
What do you make of it, Carl?
Weird, isn't it?
It is weird. I mean, I don't want to go on for this too long. We've probably got about a minute left for the first half hour, and I reckon should can this sort of...
What, 30 minutes of genital talk?
Well,
That's enough
just
on a
quickly,
Saturday afternoon?
there's
Go on.
one in a museum, I think it's like that London Museum.
What? One what?
Well, do you know like how people are buying weird stuff and that to put in museums?
speaking of that, remember how NFTs were like a big boom for a moment, and everybody was buying them and selling them and paying ridiculous amounts of stuff? The other day I forgot about those. I forgot they existed. And the other day I saw like an article about how much the more expensive ones that were sold are worth now. And I think the most expensive, ridiculous, but it went from like $69 million to like $20,000. Good times. I just think that's funny.
What? One what?
Well, do you know like how people are buying weird stuff and that to put in museums?
Yeah.
There's this device that, I mean, think about it, years and years ago they used to torture people, didn't they?
Yeah.
Really badly.
They still do.
And the device
Yeah,
that
there's,
they've got...
there's no real good torture, but go on. I see your point.
Yeah, but this device, right, think about it, you've done something really bad years ago.
Yeah.
Right, and you're thinking, oh, what are they going to do? Do you know what I mean? Could do anything here, it could be the end for me. The device they've got is this thing that you put on your bits, as a fella, and it's sort of metal, so it means you can't sort of, you know, get excited. It puts a stop to you, sort of...
That wasn't a torture device. I think it was a Victorian thing to stop adolescent boys
Chastity
wanking.
belt?
They used to have things like wrist things as well with, like, spikes on them. It's not a torture device.
Is it not?
Well, not really. Imagine that being captured by
No,
right,
it's
you're
not.
never getting hard on again. Alright. Not really a torture device, is it?
And there wasn't that many nice-looking women wandering about anyway about them, was there? Didn't get
How do you get
excited
that
about
information?
stuff.
What are you talking about?
Well, they filthy, they stunk and everything back then.
Right,
Right, we've covered that.
Next!
No more of that talk now, right?
Please.
Let's move on.
All Victorian women, filthy and stinky.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
Bit of Rolling Stones
Yeah,
and then
it's
set up the
definitely-
old songs of
yeah,
phrase.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, please.
Stones, Beast of Burden. We've not played it before. It's an absolute gem.
Okay. Speaking of jam and looking at watermelons, I'm not a jam fan, not jelly, jam, marmalade, any of those. I don't know if there's a difference between any of those things. They seem all pretty much the same. I'm not a fan, but does watermelon marmalade exist? Because watermelon's like mainly water. And to make jam, you basically have to boil it and take out the water, no? Or something like that? I don't know. How do you make jam? It's just fruit, boiling fruit and sugar, right? Anyway, does watermelon jam exist? Just, I wouldn't eat it. I wouldn't try it. Well, maybe I'd try it, but I'm just curious because the two thoughts kind of just came together.
Rolling Stones, Beast of Burden. Can I just take this opportunity, Rick, to say to Sir Mick Jagger, happy 60th birthday this year, Mick.
Happy 60th birthday this year.
60th.
Was it today?
No, I don't know.
Well, otherwise you'd be saying happy birthday to everyone every
he's just
day.
No,
always
no,
been
because I
old.
don't know Mick Jagger, do I? So I'm just taking the opportunity in case he happens to be listening today to wish him a 60th. Happy 60th, or someone who knows him might
What
be
about
listening
Brian
online.
Ferry? What about Brian Ferry?
How's Brian?
Well, I
I'm
mean,
not-
he's
not-
he's
But I'm
got
not
a
really a fan
birthday
of
this
Brian
year.
Ferry. I'm not going to wish Brian Ferry a birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Brian.
Well,
Silence is easy. Star Sailor on XFM 104.9. Right, it's the quiz of the week.
if you want to go out and do some shopping, this is probably a good time. And come back again for about 15:15.
But don't forget, what I will say is, even though these clues, we're going to do songs of phrase, by the way, where Carl picks out a phrase that he might have said once, tries to
Might
find
have
words
said
from
once.
songs to put it together. You've got to guess as many as you can, song or artist, I can't remember. But even though you might look at it and go, that's mental, I don't know any of them, you might win if you get 2 right. I mean, I think the winner last week got about 3 out of 3
Well,
or
I have to
7.
be honest with you. I mean, last week, Rockbusters, surprisingly, was a very, very popular quiz.
Yeah.
It just happened to be awful.
Yeah.
This one is pitiful. I mean, it's truly atrocious.
Yeah.
And it really doesn't even have a fan base. I mean, there's no one championing this one, Carl. Last week, seriously, mate, I got about
Carl's face.
7 or 8 replies.
Oh, God, that's terrible. That was like when you told a kid that you couldn't afford a Christmas present this year.
I can hear his heart
Look
breaking.
at his face.
Yeah, it is a bit distraught.
Carl,
I suppose it's like Chris Evans' face when they said they were cancelling Girls and Boys. It's like, but I can come up with great TV game shows like that. No, you can't, Chris. Not anymore.
Oh, his little glasses slid down his nose.
I'm the guy who don't forget your toothbrush.
Yeah. What was that money you owe me? No, you owe us. Oh, can't believe it.
Alright, so... Will I just play it to you and
Whatever,
you
Carl.
try and work out what the phrase is?
Sorry, it's a phrase that might have once been uttered on this show.
It was said last week.
Oh, right.
Alright, okay, brilliant.
Alright, here we go.
I know you're just 16, but looking all of 21.
What? That was like a whole song.
Brilliant.
Alright, here we go.
I know you're just 16, but looking all of 21.
Right, I can't quite hear it.
I know what that is. That's ridiculous.
What was
Right?
it?
What it is,
How do you know what it
it's
is?
something like, right, you're only 16, but you look 26, and the Chinese look older than they are or something, because he said that the Chinese don't age well. That is mental, Carl. It's the most convoluted, ridiculous, racist piece of material ever to be uttered on radio.
Play it again.
Oh, dude. Oh, no, dude. No. Wow. He's saying that after the conversation they had, which is what this came from last week. That's... Wow, man. Okay.
It's the most convoluted, ridiculous, racist piece of material ever to be uttered on radio.
Play it
You
again.
hypocrite, dude.
I know you're just 16, but looking all of 21.
That's...
Use this Chinese.
Okay, you're just 16 and looking on 21. That's because the Chinese look older. Carl, you've gone mental.
Alright.
Oh, that is
All right.
amazing. So, there you go, the well-known phrase. You're 16, looking all of 21. That's because the Chinese look older. Well-known phrase there, sweeping the nation. That'll be up there with "was up" and "shut that door." If they do a poll, right?
Okay, play it once more. We're after the artists.
Just the artists.
Yeah.
I know you're just 16, but looking all of 21.
That's...
I don't know what song this is, but that sounds mega creepy. It's like when you start analyzing the, what's the Sting song for his ex? Every Breath You Take. Oh, creep alert, dude. And this? What? Who's singing that to who? What? That's awful. No, that's not okay. I love how music used to be just anything goes, as long as it sounds good, and the lyrics can be scary and atrocious, but sounds great. No, dude, what the hell?
But looking all of 21.
That is very perverted.
Unbelievable.
Alright, let me tell you what the prizes are. We've got, I assume this is the new album from Mower. Everyone's going crazy for Mower. I've not heard people stop talking about Mower.
There you go.
But there it is. We've got the new album from the Webb Brothers, which might be quite good. The Polyphonic Spree album. The best dance album in the world ever, which is ideal perhaps if you're having a barbecue and you've got lots of 8-year-old children coming.
The Polyphonic Spree,
Why
I
not?
look at them and I think, well, you know, you're a pretty good band, but if that album sounds like a million, you're going to make that 40 quid each.
I know, it's extraordinary.
I mean,
They're the sort of indie equivalent of the So Solid crew.
yeah, you're not going to make any money. The manager's getting 20%.
Exactly, yeah. And also on DVD, Red Dwarf Series 1. So, some absolutely barnstorming places.
And if you can identify what artist are using this well-known racist
I don't
phrase,
understand
can identify what...
The photo on the bottom, the guy on the bottom, I don't understand what position he's in, and what is he? Is that like what is that? A saxophone motorcycle? What the hell? Like what? I don't understand what's happening on the bottom of that. Also, like flesh-colored pants. I'm guessing it's just all wrong.
Artists are using this well-known racist phrase. That's because the Chinese look older.
Play it once more, Carl.
One more time.
I know you're just 16, but looking all of 21.
That's... Oh,
Ricky.Gervais at xfm.co.uk.
Play a record. This is Radio.
I'm honestly surprised that Play a Record was never made into Song of Phrase, or just something like adding to that, like you're an idiot, play a record, or something to make it longer to have more songs. But I'm surprised that was never, like, how did this make the cut? And whatever. It's
Panic,
Carl.
The Smiths on XFM 104.9. Well, we've done the first half hour, which is mainly genital related. Then we've kicked in with some racism. You have to guess what artist.
It seems
What's
appropriate at
coming
this juncture
next?
just to mention something that's in the paper today. Dominic Mohan, I know you're a big fan, and as am I. He is just writing about the demise of Radio 1, or as he perceives it, and talking about the Radio 1 breakfast show, and apparently it's lost lots of listeners. And he says, talking of the BBC, it must act swiftly to replace Sarah Cox and look to exciting and inspirational figures like Jonathan Ross, Anne and Dec, Johnny Vaughan, or Ricky Gervais to try and save Radio 1.
He's right.
I mean,
He's right.
has he ever heard this show? What is he talking about? All those other acts, they're dynamite. I can't genuinely. That's someone who said I quite like Ricky Gervais show, but he can't have listened. I mean, can you imagine what we just played? Or in fact, can you imagine the last 50 minutes on Radio 1, on the breakfast show?
That was awesome.
Well, we can pre-
Sorry, what?
Or in fact, can you imagine the last 50 minutes on Radio 1, on the breakfast show?
Well, we can pre-record it though, so I wouldn't have to get up early.
Sure.
That's not your point, is it?
That's not really
No,
it.
your point is the quality of what we're doing, not well how early it is. Sure. Get it.
What would you provide though, Ricky, do you think, if you went to Radio 1? What sort of, because I mean obviously...
Wank, oops. I can do all that.
Because I mean obviously our time at XFM is going to basically...
I'd be the furry shreddy.
Right.
Yeah, so I'd get that.
Would you have some wacky catchphrases?
I think I would.
You'd bring back Holy Fook, presumably.
Holy fuck, yeah. Oh, ding dong.
Oh no!
Oh, hello, it's my little Chinese neighbour. Hello, what's your name?
How
My
not
name is
racist.
Holy Fuck. Hello. Look at Carl, he's just going, oh,
I don't know
God.
why you didn't even do the Chinese accent that time.
Well, that'd be racist.
Okay, sure.
I mean, yeah,
Sure.
it's just his name's Holy Fuck, and there's nothing
Nothing
wrong
wrong
or
with
funny about that.
that. So yeah, you'd have that. You'd have
have
crazy
that.
comedy characters. You'd probably have some wacky quizzes.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's Dirty Old Queer. Hello.
No, I'm not. He's a new character to me. I'm quite excited. He sounds very modern and contemporary.
Yeah.
A new spin
Yeah.
on an old idea.
Yeah.
Just tell us a little bit more.
Oh, wow, he's an actor, isn't he? And
Right.
and he likes to, take it up.
All right. Well, that's just if anyone from Radio 1 is listening, and
Yeah.
they've listened to Dominic Mohan in the paper, they thought, yes, you're right, we need some new blood at Radio 1. Ricky Gervais has got a myriad of comedy characters.
Yeah. Whack, oops. I can do sound
You can
effects.
do sound effects.
Wow.
So,
You could probably do funny voices like Chris Moyles, couldn't you?
yeah. Wow. Not as good, but I mean, I can...
What about comedy songs like Moyles?
Again, not as good, but I mean...
Do you remember when Moyles rather hilariously changed the words of This Is My Moment by Martin McCutcheon to This Is My Motor?
we listened to it, though, didn't we?
Unbelievable.
I remember when he was doing a competition, this was pathetic, wasn't it? We were listening to, Radio 1 once on our site, and I don't know why, we just wanted to, I think it was research, wasn't it, for the office?
Yeah.
And, he was doing this, he had to phone in with...
We were listening to idiots. And
no, I'm not saying that. And he was doing this competition, you had to call in with, some, songs that are golf-related. And people were phoning up going, drive the cars.
Are
He was
there?
going, drive the cars, good. And I was on that phone, I must have wasted about 40 quid, and I wanted to get through and go, hello, Chris, it's not Milesy, yeah? It's Derek here, I've got one. Oh, go on then, Derek, what is it? Something like Spandau Ballet with golf cart and that. And I just wanted to, and I waited, and just, I thought the joke's on us.
Yeah.
I waited that phone bill just to say something stupid. Oh dear.
Oh.
This show's better than this.
Yeah, anyway, if you've got any hilarious golf-related song titles that you'd like
What's the
to email
number?
in,
What's the number?
Oh, let them email in.
Ricky.Gervais at XFM.co.uk. What would a song title be if perhaps we were doing something about, I don't know, air travel?
Yeah.
If you've got any crazy ideas, email in. We'd love to hear them.
Yeah. Brilliant. I've got a thought of another golf
They're
one.
gonna mix with the emails of
Duran
song of praise.
Somewhat down the fairway or something, something like that. All right. That's
Girls on the putting green? Or
Yeah.
something?
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Have you introduced you? My name's Holy Fuck. I'm Dirty Old Queer. I could do all that. Ding dong, whack whack, oops. Elbow.
That was so
Fallen
random,
angel.
dude.
See, they're the odd one out, you see, because of what they're like and who they are and how successful they are. I can imagine saying, will you please welcome to the stage, Elbow.
Indeed.
But
yeah.
I wouldn't have. on paper, I'd have thought that was
a terrible band name.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. There are exceptions to the rule.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the Boomtown Rats.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I'd have thought that was I mean, I think it is a bad name.
It is a bad name.
But you can imagine it happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's band name. So call in if you've got email addresses and let's call in with funny observations on life and shit. So, well, it's going well, isn't it? That's halfway through. Well, Carl, what do you think?
Yeah, it's been alright. It's been alright.
Yeah.
We've covered a lot of bases.
We haven't taught them anything.
Not taught them anything.
I think
yeah,
that-
Well,
that's
we
true.
told them to tune into a different station.
Yeah,
but
I think Heart 106.2
I
is probably
feel
picking up a few
I
of
could
our
learn
listeners as
something.
we speak.
Yeah.
Who's on at the moment?
Don't know. Doesn't matter on there, does it? They just sort of...
Don't slag them off.
No, I'm not slagging them off. I'm just saying I don't think... You tune in because you want to hear Simply Red and that, don't you? Do you know what I mean?
Well, they play other great stuff as well.
Magic is the one that I love, because I only ever listen to it in a cab.
Yeah.
If I'm in a mini cab.
Good,
then
that's
Magic's
that's good. That is a good station.
But Magic
Good
is
station.
dynamite. But I noticed
Yeah.
on Magic, the DJs have got like 5-hour shifts. It's incredible. They're on.
And they do read their own news.
I know. It's like they've cut out any expenditure on that channel. It's just some old records.
Yeah.
And one guy has to go on for 5 hours, read his own news, his own travel. There's nothing else.
I saw a bloke struggling once. He sort of wants to be a bit of a sort of comedian, and he does one link. It's sort of one sort of 15-second link between each record. Goes, that's Celine Dion. There's a story in the paper again that people were late for work on the underground because there was leaves on the track. Just wondering if leaves are ever late for work because there's people on the track. It's Simply Red.
I love the picture.
Oh, bless him.
I still think he's got to come up with them for like 5 hours.
He's been sweating. Before I was going, I'm going to kill myself. I'm going to kill myself.
Share's almost
I was
finished.
just thinking this story about.
Tell me that didn't sound like something Alan Partridge would say on the radio. Straight up.
War on Iraq. Imagine if I can't do this anymore.
I can't imagine if humans become extinct.
With leaves.
Dinosaurs would kill
I
around.
don't know what I'm doing.
Look at Carl's face when I said that.
The man moth.
Yeah.
They've cloned a man moth.
No, but that's the sort of thing I think we need now, right? We've covered a lot of stuff.
What,
But
education?
teaching, yeah.
Well, okay, what do you want to know?
Don't know.
Have you got
just-
something? Can you educate us on anything?
I've been reading bits
So
and
could we
bobs.
bring back just for one night only, educating Ricky?
Oh, I'm excited.
But it's not
Do you think it
fair.
warrants that?
I don't know enough about it. You know what I mean?
About what?
It sounds perfect. Play the jingle.
Oh, educating Ricky. He's getting smarter.
So it's just like every
Couple
other
of things
time.
happened in the week that I read about.
Okay.
Keeping up on what's going on in that.
Sure.
Yeah.
One was about that Galileo fella.
Okay.
Okay.
Galileo fella. Sure.
Was it about 1636? Was it?
I think it might have been
That's not
earlier.
bad.
Go on.
Did some stuff with light and that? Is he,
Yeah, he did lots of physical experiments, yeah.
Is that it then, Carl? Is it? He did
That's
some
sort of
stuff with light and that.
What did he do with light? What was that?
Well, I think he invented the first,
Telescope.
telescope. So I think it's a particular lens though, and he did experiments where he dropped famously two different, weighted, balls from Pisa, and, they hit the ground at the same time, showing that doesn't matter, the weight doesn't matter, but air resistance does and stuff like that.
I think he probably explained it a bit better than that.
Yeah, but I'm talking to Carl.
But did they need to know
He's
stuff?
just thinking about pizza.
Yeah.
Did they need to know stuff like that back then?
What do you mean, did they need to know stuff like that? It's just...
There weren't people going around going, I've got to drop these 2 things off the Leaning Tower of Pisa. I just don't know which one's going to land first.
Yeah, I need to know. What do you need to know
Bring me
about?
Galileo.
Yeah.
It's for a bet.
Yeah.
No, but if I was knocking about then, I'd be like, stop messing with that. We need a telly. Or, you know what I mean?
I bet he thinks the Flintstones is real.
I know.
That'd be brilliant. That's what I'd do if I was a caveman. I'd make a telly out of rock.
Yeah.
And a pelican
And a
and
car
a
that I
cement
just
mixer.
ran along the road with.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we need a car.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't really got the internal combustion engine. Can you stick your feet through the bottom? Yeah, just get me a car, for Christ's sake.
Anyway, so I learnt that. And
Yeah.
then,
What?
He learned his name.
Yeah.
Other people I learned the
Brilliant.
name of this week.
Oh, if a chimp could watch telly. Go on, Carl, go on.
and there was also a fella in the week
Oh,
who
and he
said
keeps going.
that women shouldn't be wearing trousers
Why?
because they don't look good in them.
Excuse you?
Right, who was this man and from what era?
French
did he-
fella.
Was that
French
all
fella.
the same lady?
Right, who was this man and from what era?
French fella. Last week,
Did he mean walk around naked?
he just said women should wear skirts rather than trousers because no woman looks good in a pair of pants.
Right. How old was he?
It's probably about 67.
Uh-huh.
About that, 67, 68.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Wasn't happy with that. What do you think? What do you think about
It's rubbish.
that? Yeah.
These are the only things that have caught your eye over the last couple of weeks. This is the entire
That's a good
news.
Galileo did something with light. A French fella said women shouldn't wear trousers. See, that to me wouldn't pass as education.
It's not education.
I do not
I
feel
don't know where you
educated.
could ever use that. I don't know when that would ever be applicable to life.
I just like reading stuff that sort of reminds me of. Do you know what I mean? If I read it and it gets me thinking, I think that's a good little piece.
But I mean, but surely can't you just sort of like sit near something that vibrates to keep your brain going, or shake your head every now and again? I mean, what does this do? You mean it makes you start using your brain?
But what aspect of a Frenchman said women shouldn't wear trousers got your mind working? What questions were you
Because I
asking
thought
after that?
that's a bit daft, isn't it? Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
And I
it
was
ends there
thinking-
with me. There's nothing else. There's nowhere else for me to go on that.
He closes
Your
the
mind's
gap.
still whirring.
Yeah, go on. What did you think? Let's go through this. Oh, I wish we could download his
I know,
thoughts.
I know.
Just watch it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great, like a DVD?
That'd be awesome.
Imagine that extra footage on the Office DVD.
Yeah, Carl's brain.
That would be
With a commentary.
amazing. Oh, with
I
a
mean is-
commentary. Go on.
Women wearing trousers and that, right? On the estate that I grew up in.
Yeah.
On right? There was a woman about 4 houses down. Right?
Right.
Rough. She's the
She
one
was,
who...
or the estate.
She was, right?
Yeah.
She's the one whose kid took a horse into her house.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
Now, we won't go over that again.
No.
If you're a new listener, I think we covered... I think they get
That's
the
all you
idea
need to
down.
know.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, she used to wear leggings. Now, they're a bad idea.
They are a terrible idea. I agree with you there, Carl. If you're a lady of
What
the
colour?
normo persuasion...
Were they pink?
No, they were sort of black, but with all bits on them.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean?
What
Toast.
bits?
All bits on them.
Were they pink?
No, they were sort of black, but with all bits on them.
Oh, right.
Do you know what I mean?
What,
Yeah.
toast and
Just
horse
bits.
droppings? Yeah, go on, yeah.
Ah.
And she used to, she's quite a big woman.
Sure.
Pauline Quirk, I think
Yeah,
we
well,
described her as.
Looked like a light bulb when
It
she was
is those
bending
kind of
over in
women that are
leggings.
attracted to leggings.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
They are drawn to them like a moth. to a flame.
Yeah.
She used to wear them, and that's what I remember when I read this piece. And she used to work on one of those sex line things.
Right.
Right, she used to do that. But
What, was she, an engineer?
the weird thing with her was, she had big eyelids.
Right.
Go on.
What?
That were too big, and this is what I was thinking.
What
right?
do you mean she had big eyelids? How big do eyelids have to be for you to go, they're big eyelids? What was she shoplifting with them? Would she come out of Dick's
Okay.
eyelids?
I understand that we just got an image for this, but I don't look at those and say big eyelids. I don't think I've ever looked at anybody and said big eyelids. Huh. I didn't know that was something that could have been perceivable that way.
What was she shoplifting with them? Would she come out of Dixon's with, like, radio stored in them? What do you mean she
No,
had big eyelids?
It was another one of them popular things around our way. Do you know? Like,
What do you mean popular things? They
think
didn't
people
go,
have
they go, oh, I'll tell you what, they're all the rage. Can I get some big eyelids, please?
No. It was just like one of them things that people suffered with. Just big eyelids. They could hardly open their eyes.
What do you What do you mean? That's one of them popular things round where I grew up. People had big eyelids, they could hardly open their eyes. What does that mean?
I don't
what
know.
sort of freak town were you born in? You had webbed feet people with big heads. You got women with big eyelids. What does big eyelids mean?
Are you confusing her with the horse?
yeah. Did she have hooves? Look, what?
Just too much skin. It was like the neck of a chicken, but on the eyes.
What's your point? Anyway, so there's this big eyelided woman with the leggings.
And that's what I'm saying to you, though. That's when I read that story with people with trousers.
Yeah.
I went from that.
Yeah.
To
into
a
that.
woman who used to have big eyelids. I still know the point.
But then, and also the other bloke who had the eyelid problem was a mate of mine.
Right.
His dad had it, and same problem, massive eyelids.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means.
Now we're down to
I used to say
massive,
to my mum,
too.
I'm going round to Dave's house,
Yeah.
and
Or
to
Drew
say,
Pig,
well,
as you call it.
that's all right, but make sure his dad doesn't take you out in the car because he could hardly. He could hardly see. He had to have his head.
He gets to tilt his head back to give his eyes.
There's a cartoon dog. I can't remember, like, a very droopy dog. I can't remember what he's called. But he's one of those old-timey cartoons, white dog, and his everything is just, like, melted, and he does have that kind of eyelid thing going on where you can barely open him. I can't remember what he's called.
Sure! Did he have a couple of matches with him
Oh,
at all
no!
times?
What a load of gobbledygook.
I know.
But this began as educating Ricky.
I know, it's
Yeah,
like
what?
people with eyelids.
But it's like you're supposed to make that leap as well.
Yeah.
If I mentioned the trousers, Ricky...
This segment was legit just Carl's train of thought. That was the segment for some reason.
We'd be thinking about people with big eyelids and women wearing leggings.
Play a record, Carl.
Got nonsense.
Adverts.
No. Oh, all right.
Ridiculous, man.
Muse,
I
time.
think I'm gonna start paying attention to eyelids now, though, because I'm curious. Also, there was, like, he said a chicken's neck on the eyes. Like, I don't think I'm familiar with that condition.
Is running out on XFM 104.9.
Just a couple of emails just to update you on what's coming in here.
Go on.
Natasha has emailed us. She says that she's of Chinese origin, and at 27 she often got mistaken for 24. So your notion that Chinese people don't age well is obviously factually incorrect.
Yeah, well, we didn't need... Thank you for phoning, but I mean, honestly, trust us, Natasha, we didn't need you to tell us that. We know Carl is talking absolute nonsense.
Wait till you get to 30.
Oh dear, now this is quite a nice email from Paul.
Oh, wow.
He says, let Carl know that I have a Chinese friend called Oi. Imagine the confusing and amusing situations we get into.
We're out and about in busy Soho.
Oi!
Does his surname come here?
Lightning wit from Carl.
Wait
That's nice.
till you're 30.
Yeah, I know.
Brilliant.
But no, actually, we've had a surprising response to Songs of Phrase this week. Despite the fact everyone has agreed that it's racialist, they've nevertheless had a go. So keep your answers coming in,
Good.
because we may as well.
You're a hit, Carl. You're a hit. What, have we still got monkey news?
Yeah, that's still coming up.
Yeah?
Later on.
We're
Don't
not
worry
doing
about
Cheeky Freak of the Week anymore. We're not.
that. No,
No.
don't want to upset people and that.
Sure.
But there is a good freaky programme on this week.
Go on.
I think it's on Channel 4.
Yeah.
Got a woman with a big head on it.
No, I think it's BBC Two.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right. Well, look
Unless
out for
there's
that.
two on, because that would be a great week for you, wouldn't it?
Brilliant. Won't be coming out.
Is that the one when you said... Go on, say right, say what you said when you saw it.
The woman with the head
Yeah.
just said it looks like
Don't
a
we all
cartoon.
have heads?
Yeah.
What?
The woman with the head
Yeah.
just said it looks like a cartoon.
I just think...
That's so mean. I don't want to discuss
No,
that.
it's not. It's not
We-
mean.
we've-
It is mean, Carl.
Again, Steve.
Talked about this,
If we
haven't
were in a
we?
restaurant and I'm arranging to meet her, and I said to the guy on the door, I'm meeting, Lisa or whatever her name is. Yeah.
Right.
What does he look like? Well, looks like a cartoon. I'll be over there. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he'll get mixed up.
What would you
That's
say
I'm
about
saying.
me and Steve again? If you were meeting us?
No, it just starts getting nasty, doesn't it?
I'm meeting Carl Pilkington. We're very busy. What does he look like? He looks like Charlie Brown grew up. He's got a complete little round bald head, and he's got a gormless look on his face. He's over there, mate.
Charlie
All
Brown
right,
all
let's
grown
start
up
the
is
ball
very
rolling for you,
accurate.
Carl. I love that it's okay to say what you like about people if you go, yeah, but if I was looking for her in a restaurant...
I know, but...
Yeah.
And why have you arranged to go on a date with this woman?
You never said it was a date. What?
This woman.
Be a good night out.
What?
Be a good night out.
For her or for you?
Well, I'd like to have a chat with her. You know what I mean? Just find out what worries her and... You know what I mean? Because some girls worry
People
about
like you.
things.
Yeah.
Like their hair being a mess and that.
Yeah.
With her, it's like, at least your problems. You know what I mean?
Fine, alright, well let's move on, mate. We're not doing Cheeky Freak of the Week anymore.
No.
Let's do something nice. Let's talk nicely about things.
What's happened nice in the world, Carl? What do you like in the world? When you
Goodness,
get up, when you
yes.
go, oh, that was a brilliant day, I... ... What do you do when you go, oh, that was brilliant? We had a game of snooker. You like snooker, don't you? You and Steve played snooker last week.
Yeah, but things are always ruined. Do you know what I mean? I might be having a
With
nice
Steve.
time having a game of snooker, and then, you
I don't know
know,
how to play
we're
that.
having a proper battle, and I'm trying to concentrate on taking a shot, and then you'll say things like, look at his little monkey hands. And I'm going for the black. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll say, I'm just going to the toilet, and then one of you will follow me in and peer over the door.
Oh, yeah! Tell that one. That was when
Totally
you were
normal
actually in a
behaviour.
cubicle sitting down, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And Steve Merchant's head appeared and went, all right. And you went, that wasn't me! Oh, that was great.
Doing a George Michael on me.
That is one of the benefits of being very tall.
You can look over
You can look over the stalls into lavatories.
It looks like a giraffe house. You're sitting down there and you look up, right? And he's peering over the top.
I love that scene.
Oh, the fun we have.
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
But anything intelligent.
It's
we can
like the
talk about.
monkeys. We are like the monkeys, aren't we, us three? I wanted to write a thing for the darkness. I want to write like the new monkeys.
Like a TV show.
Yeah. Do you want to do that?
Yeah, alright.
Yeah, okay. Well, if they're listening, or their radio show, a record company listening, or their manager, big fan of the Darkness, my favourite.
Hang on, don't make a promise
Well,
like that.
no, my favourite band at the moment. We'll do a pilot. Them and the
No,
Monkeys.
but don't make
Running
that kind
round,
of promise.
speed it up. They can have their songs in it. They can write songs specially for us.
What if they
And it's
can't
them-
act?
And it's them. They can act. They just act themselves running round. We're getting people like Henry, McGee and that to come in and sort of be the actors. And,
Yeah.
you know, all those posh
They lost
actors
me completely.
that
by the
appear
way.
in Ali G and that.
It
We're
sounds
not.
like a lot of hard work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, forget it.
Knock it on the head.
Yeah, let's play Radiohead.
That works. Ooh, I like that song.
Radiohead and Let Down off OK Computer on XFM 104.9. Right, let's think of some nice stuff then.
Annoyed how I was yesterday.
Go on.
Just got off the train and
What happened?
guy comes up to me and he says, excuse me, can you spare some change? I'm from Liverpool and I'm homeless. And I was so angry. I was in a bad mood anyway, and I just wanted to say to him, well, there's your mistake. Go back to Liverpool. That's why you're homeless. You're in London.
Well, he might have been
You
homeless
idiot.
in Liverpool and thought...
Well,
if,
why'd you come down here?
Well, where would you rather be homeless? Liverpool or London?
Well, Algarve.
Well, no, but I mean, I'd certainly... Do you know what I mean?
but just, why am I supposed to say I'm from Liverpool and I'm homeless? Why is that supposed to be a persuading factor? Just annoyed me. I thought there was enough problems here already.
He's going for a double sympathy vote.
Yeah.
I'm homeless and I'm a Liverpool.
He could have just said I'm from Liverpool. I'd have given him some change.
All right.
Guy he was from Manchester once. I gave him my sandwich.
Yeah.
There's a thing the other night, right? They did this programme. It's only on in London, so if you listen out of London, you won't know about it. But it's about Oxford Street, right?
Okay.
And
About all the thieving that goes
it's
on and
like
stuff.
thieving,
Yeah.
you know, drug problems on
Yeah.
the streets and that.
Yeah.
You know, what gets on people's nerves, those people with the boards, you know, golf sale and all that. And there's this bit that concentrated on the homeless problem, right? And he said, you know, this fella looks after the homeless, he goes up to him, says, how you doing? Are you hungry? Do you need food and that? He said, you know, a lot of people worry about the homeless, but we do try and look after them. And the Salvation Army were there, and they said, and this is where they can come if they need anything, if they need any food, or any clothes, if the shoes are worn out. And he said, oh, can we have a look at that, right? So they go in this little room where all the clothes are, and they go, and there's like a load of jumpers for them in the winter in the cold. And the camera sort of pans across. Load of ties.
Right.
For the homeless.
What?
Ties.
Ties for the homeless?
For round the neck, like, to look smart.
No, they use them as belts. I've seen a lot of...
Or as a lead for their dog.
So a homeless person to get out of their homeless situation can't have a job interview and want to look snazzy? Because I'm pretty sure the first thought of Carl Pilkington of a homeless person is, well, I'll do something to get out of that situation. Okay, sometimes you got to look the part to get out of that situation. I understand the point and blah, 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 but still.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, ties?
That's what they did. They said, here's the room with all the stuff in it. Right? Jumpers for the homeless. Jumpers, shirts, trainers. And you got a load of ties. Nobody wanted one.
Some evening dress, and they got a formal function.
Any cravats? Now, where's the cummerbunds?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of being homeless
Sorry,
outside the
my-
Royal
it's just
Albert
so
Hall
funny.
tonight.
Yeah.
That's where the real pickings are.
I'm breaking in the back door of the Savoy this evening.
Oh,
But
dear.
another charity thing that I was reading about the other day that they're doing.
Do they give them trainers? Because I've seen a lot of tramps with new trainers, and I think there must be like a equivalent of a soup kitchen where they get shoes, because
Probably.
that's it must be, yeah. Otherwise, that's weird, isn't it? You blow any money, you beg all day and get a nice new pair of Nike. Yeah, no, don't waste it on clothes. Get some tenants.
nets, yeah.
Get some, special brew. That's the best value.
Yeah,
Go on.
some smack.
Go on.
If you've got a
They're
lot
a
of worries, you
Yeah.
on the street.
Little starter bag.
Take your mind
only a
off
fiver.
it.
Yeah, I know.
Take your mind off it.
Yeah.
But that's weird you say that, because, you know, I train as the most important thing, because, like, you know all the problems in Africa,
Sure.
right? A lot of problems going on there.
Yeah.
The other day,
How are we
they're
relating?
asking for people to send their spectacles to Africa.
Right.
Would you be happy if you were over there and, like, you're hungry and that? And then they say, here you go.
Well, yeah, but it must be for a reason.
You can see how
they've got
skinny
bad eyes
everybody
and
is
that.
now.
Yeah, I know, but I don't think they go around. It's not like when you see those things on Live Aid and there's people dying, but they're putting specs on them.
No, I think that's what it is.
No, it's not, Carl. They sort
think that's
out
what they
food and medication before they put a little pair of specs on the lads.
That isn't how it came across in the advert.
Good
I
point.
think they probably walk hand in hand. You know, the people handing out the food are also, you know, walking alongside guys with the specs, and they're handing them out as well.
But what have they got to look at?
What?
They don't own anything. They'll realise how bad everything is. God, it's rubbish here, isn't it? I tell you, I try and help out the world. I've joined a little charity thing. They pay me £5 a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all up for helping.
Yeah.
But sometimes you think, what can we do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What can we do?
Okay, what can we do?
I would love to hear his perspective on a couple things, especially this topic, after he's done An Idiot Abroad, and you know, the whole point was to broaden his mind and stuff. And he did go to, you know, see certain tribes and see certain places. And I wonder if his opinion, his own opinion, has changed on these kind of topics. Or if he's just, you know, super mega dense and he keeps thinking the same stuff.
Can't do anything.
Okay. Play a record.
We were talking about the debt the other day. I was reading up on the amount of debt that South Africa are in and that, and it's just like, that's without any shops. Do you know what I mean? If they had shops to spend the money on, there'd be murder.
That third world debt isn't because they bought too many smeg fridges from us. It's shopping. Look, who's been shopping? I have. Oh, well, you've gone over the top. You're on a budget now.
Yeah,
You're getting nothing but grain and blankets for the next year because you go mental. Who
just spent £1 billion in Dixon's?
Oh God.
Wow.
Forthcoming
A
single
lot
from
of
The
it is
Thrills,
wow.
that's called Santa Cruz.
On XFM 104.9.
We were just talking about people who do good work, you know, wandering up and down Oxford Street, giving stuff to the homeless and things.
Yeah.
And I was at
Where are
they have a
you?
little kind of music festival back in my hometown of Bristol, periodically in the summer. They can never really attract any decent acts, but, you know, we support
Not
it
even
anyway.
Portishead.
No, they never
Tricky?
No.
Right.
I think that, well, this year it was Robert Plant, who sang lots of old blues covers, and people were quite bored until he played Whole Lot of Love at the end, and then we sort of went, "Wee, you should have done all the old Led Zeppelin and stop playing all this other nonsense we're not interested in."
So I was set this for
Exactly,
next time.
yeah.
Robert. No.
But I was just snuck off into the woods for, you know, a waz, because I'm quite rock and roll like that. And I was passing, and these are a group of people, and I've always thought they never get enough praise, enough credit, and I genuinely, and I mean this with entirely sincerely, I really do. I don't mean to be, I'm not taking the mick at all. But the St. John's Ambulance people, they're absolutely blinding because they all look like nerds. I mean, they all look like kind of, because they're normally kind of fat women or kind of blokes.
I think you're doing very well for their new recruitment campaign.
Well,
so,
I was going to say,
I think you're selling it to people who want to join.
This is my point, Rick, is that they've not changed the uniforms in like 40 years. And it's normally, it's normally the kind of, the nerds from your school who went into it or whatever. It's kind of old people. I saw them, they were all sat around in this little area. No one was, nobody just sat around, they were bored, they weren't really enjoying the music. And I thought, look at that, they're not, that fat kid over there, I pointed them out to my mate, I said, see that fat one over there, in the uniform?
With the glasses and the hairbrush forward.
With the glasses, hairbrush forward, the kind of blue navy jumper.
Satchel?
There's a little satchel, yeah. He is never going to get off with a girl, probably until he's like 30. And even then
it gets to loosen clothes.
And even then it's because he's giving mouth to mouth to her. Right, and I thought, he's never going to get anything. And I'll tell you this, all these trendy young girls walking around in their kind of, cool summer gear, in their trendy tie-dye and the like, I'll tell you, when one of them, takes something that's a little bit dodgy that they bought off some guy with dreads, right? And then they're desperate for him and they zip in there. Oh, quick, my friend's, passing out, she's had a funny turn. And he's straight there with his water and his medication. Oh yeah, they need him then, but he doesn't get any action the rest of the time. And that's what annoyed me about it. I thought, they're doing a bloody good job. They turn up at sports events, at festivals, no one gives them the time of day, you never hear any good praise about them, and they're there, sat there,
Steve,
hot or cold.
Tell me the truth now. Did you join the St John's ambulance last week to get some birds?
Got no action.
Really?
I had no action. And I've been passing some dodgy E's around all the festivals.
By the way, your dreads are awful. You can see they're fake.
They're made out of newspaper.
They're awful. You really do look an idiot.
But seriously, I'm all joking aside, I genuinely wanted to give some massive props.
Yeah, that really came out
some big ups to the St John's people, because I genuinely, without any joking, I genuinely think they do a brilliant job.
Could I just say how good I think the Salvation Army are? Because you see those elderly ladies with surgical supports, a lot of them, all look like Thor Herd.
Yep. Well, that's a prerequisite to get into that particular army.
And they play that bloody tambourine, rain or shine. And they are just, all they're trying to do is, save you from burning in hell. And they don't get any respect.
Of the Salvation Army, do they, would they have to get called off?
Yeah, they do.
It'd
be the Gurkhas first, then all the regulars, then the TAs. I think then it's sort of like police,
lifeguards,
down to I think AA, and then it's the Salvation Army.
Right.
We send in the Salvation Army. Obviously, if we really have lost a lot of casualties, and they're the last to go.
Yeah, but they are all highly trained, aren't they? All those old women, they can kill a man.
Yeah,
with a single blow.
Yeah. So
why not?
Good to them. Good to John's Ambulance. Good to Salvation Army. Big up.
But I think we should just, if I might introduce a new feature every week, let's just give some props. Let's just give some massive respect to someone who doesn't get enough respect.
Yeah. Who doesn't get enough respect? Who's done a blinding job? Mother Teresa. She's
gone now. She's gone. She won't be listening anyway.
Who's the best person there is? Who's the best person there is? I'll tell you what, I'm gonna call, either Carol Vorderman or Esther Anson and say who's the best one you've ever met that did something.
Yeah.
All right.
And we'll heap praise upon them next week.
Yeah.
Great.
What?
I just don't like
anything.
They know they're doing a good job.
Right.
If I did that job, I want a pat on the back.
You wouldn't need a pat on the back.
And people are starting to, it's like Carol Vorderman. I like her. She's all right. She does a good job. But now that Better Homes, they only tend to turn up at people who have had problems. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
No.
Well,
you can have a new kitchen.
Okay, wait. Go on, what do you mean?
No, it used to start off and it's like...
I haven't seen Better Homes. What is Better Homes?
They go around and do someone's house up.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But then they get a bit of bad news. And Carol thinks, I'll cheer them up, I'll give them a new kitchen.
Yeah.
And it annoys me because if you haven't had bad news, it doesn't mean you're not worth a new kitchen.
Did you send in an application?
Yeah. You say that I'm bald, I'm from Manchester.
Well, if you'd written that, they'd have rushed round.
Yeah. What do you mean? What they say, so-and-so's had a bad year, his mum died, he lost his leg, and all he's ever wanted is a chaise longue and a hostess trolley.
That's what that thing is called?
And a hostess.
That doesn't sound right, but that's a beautiful piece of furniture. Not so much fan of the bottom thing, but is that really called that? Okay.
Trolley.
And the annoying thing is, right,
like
they might not be the ones who write in, it might be a neighbour.
Yeah.
But they also get something sorted out for them.
Really?
So even though the neighbours had a bit of bad news, they go, cash in on this one. I'll send a letter into old Carol, tell her that, Mum's passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get a new conservatory sorted.
Sure.
And sometimes a neighbour gets a better deal than the person who... Do you know what I mean? The person who's had a bit of bad news gets like a new little kitchen, whatever.
What kind of show
Neighbour
is
next door,
Leave the
conservatory,
kitchen. Let it go, Carl.
new decking in the
You had to
in the
pay for your own
garden.
kitchen.
Do
Is
you
it
know what I
done
mean,
now?
though?
Is it all
Yeah,
done
the
now, the kitchen?
kitchen sorted, the bathroom needs
You had trouble with the grouting, didn't you?
Yeah, don't worry
Oh
about
no,
that.
we got to do. Oh look, play a record. We got to do the results, and then we got to do monkey news.
Could we quickly do the results?
Well, you say we've got to do the results. There's not people hanging on for them.
Let's do it. Just
Hey,
knock
I
it out
wanna
there
know.
before
Well, let's
we
play a
play.
tune. Let's come back and do that.
Eddie and the Hot Rods, yeah, surely. Eddie and the Hot Rods, do
Okay.
anything you want to do. That's uplifting, isn't it?
Oh.
The drumming, brilliant. Takes me back, all the way back to 1978 on XFM 104.9.
What were you doing? What were you
sorry.
doing? What are your memories?
I was actually probably dancing around miming the drums to that in my bedroom. In fact, I remember...
Were you nude?
No. I remember, I think I had that
What were
one
you wearing?
on a
What were you
single,
wearing?
but I'd got it from an old jukebox, so it didn't have a middle.
Sure.
Right, I think they're called dinked, right? And so
Okay.
I had to line it up really carefully, and sometimes by the end it would just slightly go out where the record was moving.
Cool, I didn't
Where
know
just had to... Interesting anecdote there.
Fascinating.
Hey, I learned something.
Did you right for asking me what I was doing?
Out of the whole show, that's the only moment I learned something. And it wasn't even because of them, it was because of Rusty. But I didn't know I didn't know that the ones in a jukebox didn't have the middle, and I didn't know there was an adapter for it, so.
25 years ago. Carl, quick, the results, then monkey news. I need some monkey news, but I need the results first. Right, play it again and give the answers. Here we go.
Songs of
Competition.
phrase.
Songs of phrase?
Name the artists.
Name the artist.
I know you're just 16, but looking all of
Hue and Cry.
I'm bothered that I heard the Chinese before,
Well, let's
and I
spin it
can't
back
remember what
again.
it is.
That's too little.
older.
Right, it was...
That was Roxette. The look.
Yeah. Right, we had, Hue and Cry started it off.
Yeah.
16. That was Dean Martin. Because
Oh, yeah.
Jane's
That's his
Addiction.
diction, yeah.
Because
Because, yeah.
Chinese Philip Bailey.
Philip Bailey, that's second outing he's had.
Look.
Last one we used him for Chinese, where there's a hairy Chinese kid. He's never got so many royalties being used in racist game shows. Brilliant.
Then Roxette and finishing with George Michael.
Oh dear.
So, that's
Brilliant.
that, right?
Who's the winner?
Well, the winner, actually, it looks to me like he's got all of them here. From Bognor Regis, it's Stuart Birch.
Well done,
Well done, Stuart, and you get that bag of tat.
Wow.
Bognor Regis.
Yep.
Oh,
Just needed
takes
a
me
dress.
back as well.
Yeah, if you just email in your address, Stuart, and you can have those goodies. If you're not interested, don't bother. It's up to you.
Steve. Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Okay, monkey-related news from Carl Pilkington.
Right.
The tricycle bit last
do you know the
time
monkey
was...
that went into space?
Yeah.
Yep.
It happened in 1958.
Right.
Now, you know...
I absolutely love that he started bringing, like, actual dates and years and stuff. Beautiful, because everything was ages ago before.
All that.
Yeah.
Yes.
What did he do next?
What
he
did the
do
monkey do next?
Yeah.
One appearance on Celebrity Squares and it was like forgotten.
Right.
Yeah, cut a novelty record.
Yeah, just like Rick Waller.
I'll tell you what happened. He got back and all that.
Got that. Heroes welcome.
NASA sort of said, you know, you did a good job. And that's where a lot of people think, you know, it all ended.
Sure.
So he died.
But NASA were like, well, hang on a minute. We
He's
spent a lot of
trained.
time, we've trained him up and stuff. So he's like, you know, he's saying, sure, you know, I've learnt a lot, I've still got it all, I've kept it all, I know what to do. So they said, right, we'll use you. So he turned into, like, a bit of a trainer at NASA.
We wanted to send you out on the top of an organ.
yeah. Put on this little bellhop outfit.
Could you smoke fags? Yeah. I'll have a go.
So they were getting in new monkeys. You know, the main man at NASA was saying, can you teach us the sound? He's going, of course I can. Do you know what I mean? I remember it all, I know what's going on, I'll tell them what buttons to press, what to do in emergencies, that sort of thing. It was technically sort of employed by the army.
Right,
Because that's
can I just fit in here? I don't know the story, Carl, and I might embarrass myself here. You've got an army of people out there that will probably send me an equally deranged email from a different website, but I'm pretty sure when they sent the monkey into space, it was to monitor his physiology. He didn't press any buttons or learn to dock or take off.
No, there was a whole thing. I'm remembering it from the animated series, though, with the button and the banana. There was a whole conversation about this.
It was just the effects of weightlessness and space on basically a primate. I'm pretty sure he was tied in with electrodes to his head. So, well, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I could be proved.
But even if that were the case, and he had learnt to press one or two very basic buttons...
Definitely not. Definitely
but
not.
even if it were the case, I'm pretty certain they wouldn't have brought him back to train up Neil Armstrong.
Right, definitely. Go on.
Going, Neil, what are you going to say when you come out there?
Yeah.
I was thinking of just saying, hello, I'm on the moon.
Hello, it's made of cheese. Don't say that. What about... I've noticed that you got little legs, right? But mankind stepped forward. Well, how could I put that?
I was just going to say, hello, I'm on the moon. It's great to be here. I wish you were here.
I've got to think so.
Wish you were here.
Yeah, go on.
Anyway, basically, he got back. They sorted him out with a nice pension. He was happy. Because of, like, the rank that he got, he was like, you know, he had loads of medals and stuff. He said, right, we'll make him a colonel. He got that. Like I say, he got a pension. How was the end? He died in 1969. He was buried with his wife. He passed away.
The monkey's wife?
I'm sure it just goes on to a different website about something completely different. And
You're talking about Buzz Aldrin.
Yeah. His page is missing. Oh, dear.
So...
Well, Carl, if someone could call in, did they train Leica the dog to sort of like, you know, dock and re-entry?
He never made it back, did he, Leica?
They didn't bother. They didn't even bother.
They didn't bother bringing him back.
They just sent him up there, and they didn't have technology to bring him back. And they just went, yeah, that's there. That's brilliant. Well, I can do that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Really?
Yeah. What do you think of that, Carl? Rubbish, isn't it?
Sort of brought it down a bit. But
But the little monkey made a colonel hero.
At least the monkey
Big
came
hero.
back.
What was he in? What craft was he in? Sputnik.
Just hang on a minute. He was in
There's a cheat sheet.
Jupiter AM.
Yeah.
Let me see that piece of paper. Let me
Yeah,
put
I
the
can guarantee
That's a
there's
tiny
nothing there
monkey.
about his training other than let's hope he's not sick on the control panel when we shoot him up at 400 Gs. Oh dear. I love the fact that you think that this monkey was a high... Do you know what I mean? Do you, when you think of these things that are less in the monkey's face, do you think of the Planet of the Apes? Like they're sort of talking, sort of chimps and gorillas, and they're in tunics on horseback with snub-nosed rifles. What do you think of?
Just a little monkey getting on with it. He knows his
Why
job,
not?
he knows what he's got to do, he gets on with it.
Look, he's pressed the button. Watch him press the button. This takes me back. Do you remember 1965, I think it was?
We're going to use him to train other DJs.
That's it then.
Goodbye.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Oh, wow. This episode was wild, dude. First half, I'm not gonna lie, dude, the topics were bizarre, but it was freaking hilarious. And then there were moments where they lost me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. When they started talking just between, and it's funny because I noticed that the moments I get lost, I don't know what this says about me. Probably not. Probably nothing great. But the times I get lost is when Karl isn't participating. When it's just Ricky and Smirch just talking about random things where they kind of click and understand each other real well to like riff off each other. But sometimes if you're missing a wee bit of context or you miss how they started or whatever, you get completely lost. And when that happens and Karl gets quiet, when Karl gets quiet, I struggle. Which is embarrassing. But whatever. Anyway, this was fun. Dude, is Songs of Phrase gonna keep happening? Because I feel like it's really fallen off. I'm impressed that Stuart got all of them though. Damn. That's awesome. But wow. I still see Rockbusters was better. I don't know. I still want the film thing. Anyway. So, everybody really talked up True Romance, and actually I have been given True Romance. Oh, that sounds nice. But that's okay. The movie, and I will watch it and let you guys know. Probably not super soon, but at some point I'll let you guys know. Hey, I watched it and it either sucks or it's awesome. But I'm intrigued. Anyway, Beautiful Humans, Rusty, amazing as always. I love the little gifts just to Ricky's sound effects. Ah, dude, awesome stuff. Anyway, I do have some Googling to do after several topics because, you know, curiosity has awoken in me. So, yeah, I'm going to need to remember that. Anyway, lovely humans. I hope you enjoyed. This was, I mean, it's always fun, but Some topics are just funner than others. And the first time, I laughed a lot, okay? It was weird, but it was entertaining. Anyway, see you soon.